Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to talk about, you guessed it, AMD graphics cards. No, I'm just joking. That's funny though. It's funny. Laugh. So I do want to talk about like DLSS and FSR and XeSS and some of that stuff. Somebody pointed it out to me. Somebody made a video. The kid's name's Vex. Um, he's been doing some AMD content too ever since I started putting out AMD content. His videos keep coming up when I'm flipping through YouTube and stuff, and I ran across this video him talking about DLSS and stuff. And his video was piggybacked off a video that Daniel Owen made about DLSS and all of that stuff, and this all stems from Remnant too, the developer saying that, yeah, man, we made it so that we made it with upscalers in mind, so that the upscalers would carry the work or whatever. And I'm like, my gosh, man, I don't necessarily blame like XeSS or FSR too much. I mean, FSR is kind of a necessity for like the console space. Obviously, you don't have an Intel graphics card in the Xbox or the PlayStation or the Series S, but I mean those kind of consoles, that's where this upscaling technology really should be marketed, is like in your consoles, like FSR or something like that to help you get to a 4K image so that because I mean, like, think about it, man. 4K TVs, they are mainstream. They're mainstream now. Like, people, like, you don't ever hear anybody going to the store to buy a freaking 1080p TV unless it's like somebody that's like, just they want that or something for something else. And most of these people are wanting these 4K TVs now. That's the hot new ticket item. That's what's selling. That's what everybody's interested in. And not to mention that you have the OLED technology. These other new technologies, mini LED, and all of these other technologies in screen displays that are coming out with VRR support, 120 FPS refresh rates, and up to 144 hertz refresh rates now in some of these things. So when you start getting that, you kind of need something like FSR or XeSS or some other types of upscaling to help you get your console games to at least not look blurry and fuzzy and all of that on your new TV that you just went out and bought. But when you're talking about seven, eight, nine, $1,500, $2,000 graphics cards, I don't know, man. Like I kind of get frustrated. Like if I can't play something on this card at 1440p at max settings without, I mean, and having to use uh like an upscaler, that to me kind of frustrates me. Like Remnant 2, I mean, I can play it at 1440p without having to use my upscalers, but if I want to play it at 4K, you bet your bottom dollar I got to use an upscaler. And I'm like, wait a minute, that sucks, man. Like that absolutely sucks. But when I bought this card, I had it in my mind that like 1440p without upscaling should be 100%. If I need to use upscaling for 4K, there's a little bit of wiggle room there, but only if I can use like quality. Only if I can use like quality. And the fact that XeSS works on it and that still looks, fairly decent. There's a trade-off. I get to use two different types of upscaling technology on my graphics card, so I'm pretty happy with that. Like I'm not too upset about it. But from what Vex was saying and what Daniel Owen was saying, and now here I am chiming in on it, I don't think that we should have to rely on frame generation or upscalers. Or I mean, think about it, man. The only way to play the new overdrive ray tracing mode on freaking any card is to have frame generation and DLSS on it. Like you have to use frame generation for that to even work, or you're going to get like 15 frames a second with path tracing, even on Nvidia's 4090, man. Like I like ray tracing to an extent. I do. I do think it serves a purpose, and I do think it visually enhances the overall image for you, and anything to get better image quality is definitely nice. But at the prices and the incremental upgrades that you get from the Nvidia cards for this and AMD cards, I don't think that technology is worth that. And you might be thinking, well, yeah, if I go out and buy a 4090, then I get like the best ray tracing or whatever. You're right. You're absolutely right. The 4090 is like the king of graphics cards right now. It should be able to plow through basically anything. But that's not the thing. The thing is like when you're somebody out there with money and you're like, oh man, I want to see that ray tracing, and like the only money you got is like 4060 money, and you go out there and buy it and you can barely freaking use it. It's kind of pointless. Like it's kind of pointless on some of them freaking cards. And I know there's always somebody out there that'll be like, yeah, just turn on frame generation and DLSS and you can use it and stuff. And it's like, the whole point of those graphics cards costing more money is the fact that you should be able to use that. You shouldn't have to use DLSS or frame generation just to use a feature that Nvidia has pioneered and is already 3 generations into it. They cut back on these 40 series cards. They're not even as good as the freaking 30 series cards and specs, and like now all of a sudden, yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like a big old scam to me. PC gaming literally feels like a scam to me. I bought this AMD 7900 XT because I was getting a little bit frustrated with Nvidia, and I was like, man, I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay that much for an Nvidia graphics card. I already bought a 3080. I couldn't go any. I was starting to have issues with that and wasn't being able to go any further with that, and I was starting to get frustrated not being able to play certain games at 1440p with the way I wanted to play them. But I'm glad that I bought this AMD card. It's helping me learn. It's helping me calm down a little bit. It's helping me put things into perspective PC wise, so maybe I can make these cards last me a lot longer and I don't have to waste a whole bunch of money, because as it sits right now, this card is doing everything I need it to do, in terms of being able to create content, being able to um, record video, all of that stuff, being able to edit it, everything. Like this card is doing a very good job at everything I need it to do. So I'm pretty happy with the overall experience with this graphics card. I feel, me personally, I feel like I get better image quality. But then there's always somebody that's got to come in and be like, nah, man, and try to shut you down on that. And it's like, dude, you can tell me that your Nvidia card's better all day long. I've had them. I've had Nvidia graphics cards. Now I have an AMD graphics card, and I'll tell you what, man, I like the image quality that I'm getting out of the AMD. And it doesn't matter what you say. Like it really just doesn't matter what you say, man. Like you can tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, or that blah blah blah, or you can fix it in the Nvidia settings. Okay, well, I couldn't find a way to fix it. I never once had an overwhelming visual experience like I'm getting with this AMD graphics card. So, okay, man, and I bought 3 of them Nvidia cards. So, if it's out there, that's cool. If you found it, I'm 100% happy for you. Like I'm not trying to tell you that like I'm not. I kind of feel like Nvidia's overrated. I feel like Fanatec's overrated. I got the Camus back out now. I just feel like all these products that are supposedly the best and cost an arm and a leg more. I I I I don't need them. You don't need them. Nobody needs them, man. Like the LG C2, great TV, but my Vizio did just fine too. But I did need a smaller one, so I got what I needed. Vizio did not have a smaller one in the 42-inch size that I wanted, and then the only other options I had were expensive monitors. So it worked out. I saved some money buying this one. I got it for $900. So, but yeah, I mean, even that kind of feels. I'm not gonna say necessarily overrated for the LG C2. This TV is actually like one of the highlights of like this channel so far. This thing is pretty dang good. I'm really liking it. I feel like I feel like we just get so caught up in our tribalism when it comes to gaming, man, that things like DLSS or FSR or XeSS, it kind of makes us feel like the product that we bought is in another class when it's really not. Like it's not. Like it might get you there and it might let you see it, but you know, there's a saying in like the PC space that they always tell you, ultra graphics are for photo mode. DLSS is for photo mode, man. You know what I mean? Like DLSS on a different resolution is for photo mode. That's where I'm at. DLSS, if you have to use DLSS and frame generation, that's for photo mode. That's absolutely for photo mode. Frame generation. That right there. We're gonna finish this video out on frame generation because that right there, when I heard that, I absolutely looked at my. I was like, no, dude, this is stupid. I am not paying extra money for fake frame rate. I'm not doing it. I don't care how good it is or what. I'm not paying extra money for that garbage. For me buying the 7900 XT, I feel like I paid for what I got when I bought the card. If I get frame generation and all of that other nonsense with that, cool, whatever, bonus. If it works, it's one of those things that I'm like, I'm not going to pay an extra added price for something that like clearly is going to have an effect on the image quality. And I know you guys can say it's the best thing ever, man. It's the best. Is it really though? Is it really though? Honestly, ask yourself that. Is that frame generation, that fake frame rate that you're getting, is it real? Does it turn it off and see how them games play, man? Like, how do they play without it? That's what you should be asking yourself. Can you live with the experience without it? Because if you get used to that, what what reason would Nvidia have not to just sell you a card that could fake resolution, fake frame rates, fake all of that, and just put it on this little thing that's running from a server and just like, oh my gosh, man, we're not even gonna have rasterized cards anymore, man. If you guys don't stop, we're just gonna have straight up freaking AI in there, freaking running around with the graphics and doing whatever they want. Just gonna be like streaming data from the cloud, like Call of Duty does, man. Like you guys are asking for it. You guys are asking for it, man. You say you guys are PC enthusiasts, man, but if you keep going the Nvidia way, man, and you keep falling for it, you're gonna be stuck in a situation where they're gonna sell you a graphics card for your PC so that you feel like you still have a PC, but it's not going to be dedicated hardware anymore. It's not going to be like full on hardware anymore. It's going to be streaming data from the cloud and decompressing it on your freaking GPU and upscaling it with your AI. Like I can already see it, man. I can already see it. Can already see it now. You want like the fastest 4K at over 120 frames a second? You can just do this. Like you're gonna get decoders, man. You're gonna have decoder graphic cards if you don't quit it. You're gonna. I mean, I can see it coming now. Like I can see it. These guys want money. They want money. They're in the business to make money. They're gonna have different levels of freaking decoders that are gonna get you like 1080p, 1440p, or 4K, whatever, and they're gonna sell you, these things as decoders. They're not even gonna be. I mean, you might still get like the workflow stuff for like editing and stuff like that, but I don't know, man. Like I can see it. It'd probably be cheaper to just sell you something like that than to actually build out, stronger graphics cards. Look how big they're getting, man. They're getting huge. Like these graphics cards are getting huge. And that's not by mistake or anything. That is their way of saying like, hey man, we're going to start making this stuff bigger and bigger and bigger until you just submit to what we want. You know what I mean? Like it's coming. It's coming, man. I can feel it already. I can absolutely feel it already. So I don't know, man. I think that I do kind of agree with the little Vex guy and Daniel that like, look, man, these upscalers are they're ruining expectations. I don't think they're ruining gaming. I think they're ruining expectations. Like I'm fine with them on the Xbox. I'm fine with them on the PS5. But when you're paying upwards of $1,000 for a graphics card, I don't know about that, man. Like, I don't know about that. And you shouldn't be 100% just being like, oh yeah, this is great. I think we need to come back down to earth and like literally look at what's going on, man. So if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.